This is how dumb some of you guys are. You guys don't understand that the concept is actually the fact that it did look like this. This is exactly what it did look like. But he has fought so many battles that he's almost out of it, that it's damn near not even green anymore. Like, god damn, bro. Some of you guys need to really pull your head out of your ass.
Get out my face with that. Get out my face with that crap.
Yo, it's your boy Noodle Boy back with another video. Today we are here to talk about lanterns. If you see, I got my green light going on right now for the theme. But yes, we're talking about lanterns. James Gunn's Lanterns has finally dropped on HBO Max. I'm seeing a lot of kind of mixed reviews.
Lanterns is gay as fuck. The whole concept is gay as fuck.
This Lanterns show is so boring. Like, what are we even doing? Bro.
Like, what are we doing, DC? Like, honestly, like, this episode was so mid. It was mid.
I'm not here to be swayed by anybody else's opinion. I'm gonna just give you guys what I think about it so far. But before getting to all of that, like I always ask of you guys, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, let me know that it's real. And let's get into this show, man. Off the rip, if you have not seen episode 1, stop this video. Spoiler alert, flag on the play. Go watch that, come back. I'll be right here. You can put whatever you want to put down in the comments and we'll get into it. Now let's get into the video. So lanterns, I think these guys need no introduction. I think everybody knows who Jon Stewart, who Hal Jordan is. If you grew up watching Justice League Unlimited, Super Friends, these guys have been all over the place. Sometimes they switch in and out. One time you got the black, Green Lantern. Sometimes you get the white Green Lantern.
You just call him Green Lantern, but
he's Black Green Lantern.
I mean, just call him Green Lantern.
No, he's Black Green Lantern.
He's just the Green Lantern. He's not
Green
Black
Lantern.
Green Lantern.
Green Lantern. He's just Green Lantern.
Do you call Hal Jordan White Green Lantern?
It's all over the place, bro. But no one's judging. We love everybody here. So the show Lanterns, I'm gonna say off the rip, I think it's working to me. I think the show's working pretty well. It's definitely a slow burn. It took me a while to kind of figure out what type of tone of a show this is. And I'm kind of getting the tone. This is kind of like the buddy cop movie type of thing like that, where it's just like you got the OG cop that's kind of training the new guy. Something like a 48 Hours type of vibe, with Eddie Murphy and stuff like that. But I did like the show so far. I'm not gonna lie. Like at first I was like, what's going on, but as much as I want to see more superhero stuff, as much as I want to see more green light, I want to see more action, I kind of am okay letting it build up into something, because I feel like people that are saying that this show is mid, which doesn't make any sense to me, it's like, what do you guys expect? You guys want them to just come out the gate and just boom, explosions, and it's like flying, suits and, rain colors everywhere. Like, nah, bro, let's let it all build up into something, man. So I'm going to just say that from the beginning, man. Anybody that's calling this thing is mid, I kind of feel like you're not really, I don't want to say not a true fan, but you're not that deep of a fan. You just are kind of more of a fan of, maybe superhero fights, maybe just seeing powers, but you're not really a fan of, I don't want to even say comic books. I don't want to say that because I don't think everybody's not really a comic book fan, but they say they are. But you're just not a fan of the buildup of who these superheroes are outside their costumes and, their real world and kind of like things that they go through on a daily basis. I don't think everything that we see on TV is always the actual full story. Like Superman has a job, Clark Kent has a real job, Batman has a regular life, like Wonder Woman, she gets to stay like that all the time. But a lot of these heroes, they have regular lives outside of this thing. So I think to say that it's mid or that this thing is just too slow, I don't understand. Like, what do you want to happen? You want me to just come out the gate and just boom, we're seeing, insert the galactic fights, aliens coming down? Like, nah, let it build up. And I like the way that it is kind of going kind of slow. So far, I'll say I'm enjoying it. Now, as I mentioned, heroes having normal lives, I'm kind of stuck between a hard place right now, because I feel like the way Hal Jordan is presented, obviously in the beginning of the show, where Jon Stewart is kind of watching him as a child on TV in 1996, and just seeing him being on the news, like without any type of mask, and within his suit, and just kind of just, letting the public know who he is. I was kind of thrown off, like, okay, I don't really like that too much, because I feel like when it came to the Green Lantern, as far as Hal Jordan goes, I feel like Hal Jordan was always the guy that kind of wore the mask, and Jon Stewart was the guy that was kind of just like more open. So I don't think it's so much a big thing about the identity, but I mean, going back to the whole movie with, Ryan Reynolds, I believe they said something about, that people really shouldn't know who they are. And I feel like, that version of Hal Jordan, he did his best job to kind of, keep a low profile. But I feel like with this one, it's just like, hey, I'm Green Lantern, I'm Hal Jordan, this is my life. And you kind of see that within the years of just like the way he interacts with like society. Like, I was kind of like, I like it, but I kind of was like, I don't like it because it just kind of feels like you're just another guy that's in the city that just has a ring. And most people don't really respect you, at least within, I would say, in the 2016 era. He just didn't seem really well respected. He seemed like kind of just a joke. He just seemed like a drunk guy that just had a ring that probably had a prime before, but like now he's kind of just like over it. And that was kind of like the whole vibe I was getting with Hal Jordan, where it was like, I like your character, but at the same time, I feel like, yeah, we know the Ryan Reynolds version. He definitely got into like bar fights and whatnot. We know he was probably, maybe not the best example of a hero in the beginning. But I feel like once you start taking it kind of seriously, like, he became the Hal Jordan that we all love. Even when you see stuff like comics, stuff like that, is like Hal Jordan is a well-respected. He's probably like the greatest Lantern. And I'm like, I'm not seeing the greatest Lantern out of this guy. So to have John Stewart kind of just be, shadowing you, it's like, bro, you ain't really been the best example. I will give him credit. I do respect the fact of like, he was training in a way that was definitely not too childish. Like he was kind of putting John in those weird situations, like, hey, figure this out, being like in the car. So that was cool. But at the same time, I kind of did really enjoy the scene he did with the alien where he was kind of like interrogating him, because I was like, damn, this is kind of lit. Because when you really watch the show, you really tend to see this is like a detective show. This is not just about powers. This is about, hey, we're Green Lanterns. We are like cosmic police and we're doing our job. So when they had an alien threat on the earth, you saw how serious he became. So I did really enjoy that scene about him, and like the way he was to kind of just able to just figure out, hey, this guy's an alien, asking him those type of questions about, Barack Obama, Harry Potter, which I found funny because HBO is gonna, do the Harry Potter show. But that was kind of cool. I was like, all right, bet. And that's the way that he kind of just exposed the guy. He threw the ring on him. So it was cool. It was like, all right, I kind of see the whole, you know, space cop thing going on. So it was kind of cool. Now, John Stewart, my brother, I never had an issue with Aaron Pierre being this character. I feel like he was kind of getting on my nerves a little bit. I mean, he was just had the vibe of just like, yo, I want to be the Green Lantern. I don't care. Just train me. I'm here. I'm dedicated for it. And it was cool, but it was just like, damn, he just always seemed so annoyed. It was just like, damn, bro, are you even happy to even be here? And I kind of just felt like he was kind of just over, how Jordan's training and whatnot. And it's like, it didn't seem very special. And one thing I do want to say about it being special, there was this scene where John asked Hal, like, how did you get the ring? And when Hal was explaining it to him, saying, hey, pretty much like the ring kind of chose him. I didn't like the response when John was like, pretty much he didn't like the fact that it was chosen. Why not give it to somebody, that kind of earned it? And I'm kind of just like, what do you mean by that? And then when Hal Jordan said something about, well, it chose me, but like you interviewed for it, I was like, what are we doing here? So you mean to tell me in this universe, again, I don't read the comics, you guys can let me know down in the comments, you mean to tell me in this universe that like you just wanted to be a Green Lantern and you just interviewed for it and they figured out you were the like best choice for it? I'm like, what are we doing here? And that's the thing that I was kind of saying, like when I did see it, it was like, I didn't like the fact that the government was so involved with like the Green Lantern Corps and like the way that they did things. Like, I mean, there's just people that just understood everything about the ring as far as like, how much juice it had and whatnot. And that was mainly within the like alien, but it was just like, you guys are too involved within like society. You guys are supposed to be this like, out of world type of thing over here. But you guys are like so involved within society that like they kind of know your whole playbook. And I just didn't get it. So it was like, even the fact when like Hal Jordan purposely got himself sent to jail, like the fact that he even had to go to jail without anybody respecting him, like, yo, that's the Green Lantern. That's Hal Jordan. Like, he saved us on a regular. Like, what are we doing? That's how I was like, I don't get it. So you're the Green Lantern. You have the strongest, one of the strongest rings in the universe, and you need to purposely get thrown into jail just to get close to like someone that you think is a threat. Why not just get involved? Like, why are you, playing around? And it just seemed weird. Like, it just seemed dumb. That's why I was like, bro, what did they make you guys look like? And then, just the whole thing with the ring kind of just being passed around. I understand, but it was just like a blunt, like, look, I'm gonna wear it right now. You wear it right now. I'm gonna wear this right now. You wear. It's like, come on, bro. Like, I get it. It's a training thing. It's cool. I just didn't really see too much training with John. It just kind of just seemed like Hal was really not trying to let go of the ring. He felt like he was kind of sunning John a lot, where it's like, hey, all right, Junior, like eventually, like you'll get the ring. But I was just kind of just like, damn, like I feel like Jon Stewart, the character from the cartoons that I see, it always seemed like he was chosen. Like the ring picked you, but this one it just makes it seem like, hey, I was a kid, I was a fan of you. I just got interviewed for the ring, and I didn't think that was cool. And my thing was just like, if that's the case, that mean anybody could just wear the ring. So I'm like, what are we doing with this one? Come on, HBO. Like the ring should choose the person that's gonna wear it, for the purpose of just having that much willpower. And one more thing I do gotta talk about.
One more thing.
This suit, I'm still not okay with this suit. This suit still looks ridiculous. It is so far from what we saw as children.
This is how dumb some of you guys are. You guys don't understand that the concept is actually the fact that it did look like this. This is exactly what it did look like. But he has fought so many battles that he's almost out of it, that it's damn near not even green anymore. That's the whole concept of why the suit looks like that.
And anybody that's trying to defend it to say, oh, the suit used to look more green, you're just full of crap. I'm not saying that that's not what happened in the comic books, but this suit just looks ridiculous, man. So please, by the end of this series, we get the Jon Stewart and the proper suit look, not this Hal Jordan bullcrap that we just saw. Let's fix that. Please, DC. Let's fix it, bro. Now, when it comes to the actual ring and, the way that it was used, I mean, I wasn't too big a fan of, how much that it was used in public, obviously in front of people. Like I said, I felt though as this should be something that's a little bit more sacred. Obviously, the ring runs on a certain amount of energy and that's cool. But I didn't like the fact that Hal was just using it willy-nilly, like, making money out of it, which was cool. It was very cool that he was doing that. But it was like, all right, bro, like you're really wearing this ring like a drunk guy. Like you don't have enough money. Like you made cash. Cool, bet. The whole can opening thing, that was cool. Like, don't get me wrong, like he's using it in a way that's probably more realistic, the way that we probably would use it, but it's still, like I said, it's like I'm just not seeing the Hal Jordan, the greatest lantern that's in the comic books. I don't see that out of this guy. And it's just like I feel like for him to have to sit around and explain himself, like the guy asking about his suit, it was just like, yeah, man, it's like, like I wear it sometimes. It's like, damn, bro, like you're a superhero, right? And it just, I'm having a hard time really seeing if he was ever truly connected with like the real Justice League, at some point within this universe. And maybe he hasn't been, who knows? Maybe we're still in the early stages, but like I said, man, this Hal Jordan is cool, but I'm just not seeing the Hal Jordan of legend that we all grown to see. John uses the ring a couple of times. Obviously, he lights somebody's cigarette, stuff like that. He makes it like bubble. And I mean, I guess it is kind of cool. I kind of wish they would have showed us a little bit more back to the way they met and the way that they kind of sat in that seat. And maybe we will get that later on in the future. But it would have been better to see kind of how these guys met, or what was the first thing that John made, with the ring dial that kind of had been lit, kind of shows a little bit of the training. I feel like they kind of just dropped us in 1996. John was a kid. And then we jumped to, whatever it was, 2016, which was cool. It's like, come on, bro. It was just like you skipped such a vital point. But we might get that, because even the way that the show kind of ended, like I said, spoiler, it's like it looks like Hal probably dead and the ring is missing. So I wonder what happened from 2016 into 2026 that kind of, landed him in that position. And just to see, John come back, just kind of just calm. It's like, bro, have you just been waiting all this time just to get the ring or what? Like, what happened after that? So I'm sure this show will break it down. I feel like we're going to be jumping in between years to kind of explain a lot of stuff. But yeah, man, I feel like everything that they showed us with Hal Jordan from the trailer, we saw everything already. So I don't know if he's going to be out of this show already, but who knows? We'll see. In terms of dynamic between the two, I will say, like I said, it does come off very buddy cop-ish, but I will say that there are some funny moments in this show so far. I hope that we can get some more. I don't know how it's going to play out just because of kind of the way that the show ended this first episode, but there were some funny moments, like the scene where, matter of fact, I'll just show you right here.
Oh, sir. It's delicious.
Good. Nothing better than eating off another man's grill. Good night, gentlemen.
Hi. What's that all about?
I might have slept with his wife.
Might have.
I definitely slept with his wife.
And he knows?
Apparently.
Jesus Christ, we've only been here 24 hours. I'm impressed.
This is funny, and I think their whole dialogue just going back and forth, the entire show. It's probably not the most funniest, but it's just like you can see the annoyance and just like, how Jordan is just this real relaxed guy that's just kind of just like, hey man, you need to just calm down about life until it gets really serious. And then he's like, yo, let's get serious about it. I like the way that he kind of just chills, he kind of just takes everything in, and John is the more aggressive, like, yo, we need to get up on this now. And, hey, he's the guy that did the whole chase scene, and, Hal's kind of just like vibing. So, it's kind of cool. And like I said, the way that he was definitely training Hal Jordan, it was very, hands off type of style. Like, hey, you go do whatever that you want to go do. This is, this is the way that I would have had did it. So it's cool. I feel like Hal always has everything under control, even though it may not seem like it at time. But that does go to show you like how much experience he has doing this Green Lantern thing. So like I said, I think these guys have a great dynamic within each other. I think eventually, like I said, we don't really know what happened to Hal Jordan at the end of episode 1, but if he is to still be around, I think eventually they'll definitely grow into, being cool, buddy. And, I look forward to really seeing that. But I am excited to see what happens though. And I'm gonna leave it off at that. Like I said, for me, episode 1 of Lanterns was a solid 8. Like I said, I think this is a very slow burn of a TV show, but I think it has a lot of promise to get better. Like I said, I feel like we've just been seeing kind of just like the pilot, just the early episodes of it. But I think we need time to kind of get into it to kind of see what is the bigger threat. So you guys let me know what you guys think happened to Hal. Do you guys think that he's dead? Do you guys think he's just paralyzed or something? Or, do you think that was just it for him, as far as this show? But y'all let me know down in the comments what you guys thought about Lanterns. And I'll see you guys next time on the next video. Peace.